Hey, this is this size this, and I've got a lot of shit I need to be done today and tomorrow for a while because apparently my brother cannot fucking feed a pair of dogs by himself. He's completely useless. So I've been completely busy for the last couple of days, and I mean, just really just tiring myself out because of his stupidity. So a lot of things came out. A lot of news. First of all, Nintendo doesn't want to have a space in this city because, they're afraid that it's going to go all over YouTube. Dude, their Pokemon and their Super Mario Brothers are already all over. It's going to go all over YouTube. Every fucking video game is going to go all over YouTube. There's not really much they can do about it, or they can even fight it. It's a it's just stupid. I the reasoning's dumb, the idea's dumb, and it just doesn't make a fucking lick of sense. I don't understand it. Copyright laws was made. I think about when videos were starting to show up, not video games, just videos. And the thing you have to understand is that a lot of corporations came up with all these copyright laws because they wanted to make sure that everything was copyrighted and nailed down and nobody could, get any kind of copyright out there. And fast forward to today, and pretty much everything out there is copyrighted, and we now have this thing called the internet. And that's what they were afraid of back then with the whole copyright, why they were copyrighting everything, because they were afraid that those videos were going to get out and their copyright words were going to get infringed on left and right. And I had this video called Copyrighted Free Video, which was just all black. And the thing was, is that it was appropriate because every corporation and every company were just suing, and not even forgetting YouTube users were all just flagging everybody for copyright infringements left and right until they got tired of it and realized that all they were doing was just wasting their fucking time. And some people just got hit with the most stupidest copyright infringements of them all. Guy walked past the store while videotaping himself with his iPhone. He just walked past the store. Or, one guy just got copyrighted just for about everything that was on the video. And it was just him, a wall, and just his t shirt. He got copyright infringement over the t shirt, the wall, and some other bullshit. I think the air conditioning, too. The music industry wanted to the music and entertainment industry wanted to make sure videotapes never existed. Back when back when they were starting to become big, and it failed miserably. And to all of those that says, "Well, you guys just let it get too big." No, it was going to become huge regardless of whatever Nintendo or anybody else did or what YouTube. If YouTube wasn't invented, something else would have taken its place. So it wouldn't have mattered if the internet had come big or not. It would have blown up regardless. So Nintendo's thinking behind this is prehistoric, outdated, and it just isn't going to work anymore. And of course, all these other companies are all fucked, but they they were fucked regardless because it just was going to happen. It's the evolution of the internet, and it's just actually just evolution of video itself, and it was just going to happen regardless of what anybody had done. Then you got this bizarre circle of people who are trying to own PS4 owners, or future owners or whatever, by saying how much its OS uses up the gigs. And there are some problems here, a lot of non-making sense problems. Some of them are, because it's and it leaves like 4.5 gigs of RAM using at least 3.5 gigs for its operating system. And this is pretty shocking news for a lot of people. And there's a lot of people out there saying, oh, it's because of the cross game chat, which is bullshit because it's definitely not the cross game chat because we know this because of the Xbox 360. Xbox 360 has 512 megabytes of RAM. I mean, fucking a the Wii U has way more RAM than that. Of course, the Wii U doesn't even have cross game chat, but that's because Nintendo just doesn't want it. In fact, the Xbox 360 has a wide range of chat features that uses up so little amount of RAM. Unlike the PlayStation 3's diminished amount of RAM and how pathetic it was. Yeah, the PlayStation 3 had a shitty amount of RAM, and getting even cross game chat and all those other features was a laughable, idiotic joke. And please don't tell me that it has video RAM because that was reserved for the video games, which are mainly, it was actually just video. They were using video RAM for fucking video games. Not good, Sony. Yeah. But what makes this even more worse, sir, and what a lot of people are not trying to understand here, is that this could possibly mean even worse news for Microsoft and their console. Because all this, if whatever the fuck Sony's using on their OS, and if it's their video streaming service, it's not going to look good, bode well for Microsoft. You got to understand, first of all, Microsoft is using DDR3, which is slower RAM, and Microsoft has all the same features, but a lot of what people don't want to really put together here is that Microsoft, well, first of all, they've been known to lie a lot, but they are using 3 operating systems, which I know will, and which I've complained about, could probably hurt their performance. And yeah, I know about virtualization and emulations and all that. Probably, and the most thing that they're probably going to end up using is a single kernel with 2 operating systems over it, with the kernel, overlapping on both of them. Which still isn't a bright idea because you still got multiple operating systems going on. The kernel, if you had a kernel on top of an operating system, that's fine. Apple, Microsoft, they all do that. And yeah, Microsoft confirmed the 3 operating systems at the reveal. It's pretty much right there on the video. You could all see that video. But what I don't get is that if they're saying it's on par with the Xbox One, first of all, Xbox is using, the 3 operating systems, and yeah, I'm not going in order on this one, but like I said, there would be a performance problem. Yes, kernel underneath, but 2 operating systems on top, if that's how they're going, or they're just going to go with 3 fucking operating systems, which is a cluster fucking RAM hog. And don't give me that virtualization crap. Believe me, I know all about the virtualization. If you guys remember Spore that came out for Mac and PC, and how they were using a virtualization system on the Spore game for Mac, and here's what happened. The PC version, you can use any old crappy cheap PC, but yet the Mac version, oh man, the Mac version just took up twice the amount of RAM than what the PC version did. And that was just through virtualization. That wasn't even emulation. That was virtualization of the game, because they were using Cigar, which is an offshoot of Wine. And yeah, Wine uses a lot less memory, but it was, but even under Wine, it still takes up a little bit more RAM than what it should be. and even causes frame rate issues, which oddly enough showed up all over the Rune game, which a lot of people's like, well, there's some frame rate issues going on in that game, and what the hell's going on here, Microsoft? So with the extra amount of the having the three operating systems working together, it would still cause frame rate issues as well as performance drops. But I know I'm probably not going to get any sleep because nobody watches the video or nobody even cares. But that's the simple truth about the RAM. But like I said, the Xbox 3, I mean 360, I mean the Xbox One will have all these same features, and add it with the 3 gigs of RAM that they confirmed for the 3 operating systems, it would take up twice the amount of RAM, leaving even less amount of RAM. Everybody thinking it will be about 5 gigs, when in reality it would probably leave maybe 3 or even 2 gigs of RAM. Because, the Xbox One is also housing 3 OSs, which all contain higher functions in them to maintain, the 3 fucking operating systems. And it would also diminish the performance and ability of the Xbox One, theoretically. And if it doesn't, then physics have stopped working and reality is no longer capable, and this universe is crumbling apart because it doesn't make a lick of sense. It shouldn't be happening that way, and either that or somehow Microsoft has got magical elves working for them to get all that shit working within their OS, or their 3 different OSs. And I know they got like 34 megabytes of ES RAM. Just to let you know, the Wii U's got a ton of ED RAM in there. I don't know how much ED RAM is in the Wii U, and I think they have like almost the same amount of ED RAM within the Xbox 360. The PS4 has none. PlayStation has never depended on any kind of internal RAM for some bizarre reason. Actually, both Wii U and Xbox One will have 32 megabytes of RAM. I just looked it up. But yeah, but some people are complaining that Microsoft using ES RAM is not going to be as good as just the stereotypical ED RAM. But I'm not going to get into that shit. It's way too confusing. But yeah, it's not going to look good for Microsoft, and because they're going to have all the same features, and it's just not going to look good, especially with the 3 operating systems and the inherited performance problems, even if it's under virtualizations with the 3 operating systems, because there is no way around that. Cramming 3 operating systems would definitely low performance down, but a lot of Xbox fans are just keep yelling and keep screaming, no, 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 virtualization will work perfectly, and rainbows will come out of my ass, and there's going to be no performance problem with the Xbox One and their 3 operating systems, because Microsoft can get 3 operating systems because they're Microsoft. And if you have the title Microsoft on there, if you could just put Microsoft and stamp it onto any kind of hardware, it will magically work. I can just put Microsoft on my car and it will just fix itself, because it's Microsoft, and that's how things work. And my performance will automatically just go up just by pressing the word Microsoft onto the side of my car. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I got this Pacer, and I just took this Microsoft Word and just stamped it on the side, and now I go in a Ferrari. But no worry, no one will watch this video because no one gives a rat's ass about me anyways. But that is the actual truth. If Sony is going to use up a lot more gigs for whatever the fuck they're going to use it for, um, which I still I don't know. But if it would also vote the same for the Xbox One. I mean, it should, and even take up twice the amount of gigs for the Xbox One, because they're not just housing all those extra features; they're also housing 3 operating systems. But people seem to neglect that little end. But they're saying, "Oh, no, 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 no! All those features is non and void because it's got 3 operating systems, and it just makes it non and void. Just does. That's how computers work. You just stuff 3 operating systems, and it's about the same as all those other features, and then you could shove those features in and it won't take up anything because just neglects it in reality doesn't exist anymore." So, it's not just 3 operating systems Xbox One is housing, it's 3 operating systems plus extra features. And it should, and by all recommend, to take up a lot of RAM. And I mean a lot of RAM than what people think it should be doing. I mean, if this is happening on the PlayStation 4's end, it will happen on the Xbox One's end twice as worse than what the PS4 is doing. See ya.